All right, I just want to be transparent about the process, about what's happening right now. So on February 11th, I obtained all of the documents that I needed. That was the first day that I could get those documents from the office of the city clerk. I received all of the paperwork, and then throughout the days and weeks between then and now, I had been just really organically having conversations with people, meeting people, and getting signatures along the way, learning about the needs and desires of our community here in San Jose, in District 3, obtaining signatures to be nominated to be on the ballot. And then on Wednesday, I had all of my paperwork. I had 58 signatures. I went into the office of the city clerk and we discussed, and I was thinking, maybe I should go to the registrar of voters so that I can ensure that all of these signatures are valid, because I expect that some of them will fall off due to the process. Then I went to the registrar of voters. I applied to use their system. I was able to access the voter database and then double check my signatures. Now, I found that maybe 30 of them were good, 28 of them did not work. And I was like, oh man, I couldn't read them well. Or often what happened was that the people wrote down addresses that was not their voter registration address. So for some reason that was happening all of the time. And then I left there kind of startled by that, and I needed to fill the rest of my documents. But on that night, they would not let me get more documents. Instead, I had to fill all 75 available slots and turn that in before they would give me more slots. And I had to wait for the registrar of voters to decide that it wasn't enough signatures before they would give me supplemental paperwork. So on Wednesday evening, I stood out here for 4 hours downtown, and I got the rest of my signatures, 75 signatures in total for my forms. I took those forms the very next day and submitted them with the office of the city clerk. All my forms were filed. I even pledged to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California. I did all of the things. I paid a heavy sum of my own money in order to have my candidate statement published. And then I waited, and I got this email. This email said that, at first, the email said that I still needed 38 signatures. And I was like, that is insane. I went and did the homework myself. I know that can't be right. And then a couple of hours later, while I was melting down, I finally did get a response. And it was, there was a typo in the email, and actually I just needed 13 more signatures. So 37 of the 75 signatures were valid, were good. Now I needed 13 signatures. I could not get the paperwork that night, but they emailed me at like 7 o'clock at night. I could not get the paperwork that night, so I couldn't get more signatures that night. I had to wait until 8 a.m. this morning. So 8 a.m. this morning, I got the paperwork, I ran out of there and went around to like coffee shops and the local areas where I know that there's heavy foot traffic, and I went and got the signatures. I got 19 of them to be safe, right? They wanted me back at the office of the city clerk by 11 o'clock, and at first they told me 11:45, but now they were saying, it really has to be 11 o'clock because we have these other meetings. And then and these ladies have been nice to me the whole process, but they told me that, and then I showed up about 11:15. I had 19 of them, so I felt good. I felt like, even if 6 fell off of the 19 that I was very specific, very firm with everyone, saying that, oh, can I get, make sure that it matches the voter registration. And everybody was really kind with that today. They had been giving me the accuracy to their understanding of their signatures. And then I get an email today that says that only 8 of those 13 signatures, or 19 signatures, only 8 of them were valid, according to the Registrar of Voters. So that meant I have only 45 of the 50 valid, 45 valid signatures of the 50 I need to be a candidate for the District 3 City Council in San Jose. So now I am. I was like, that can't be right. That just doesn't make sense. I went and did the homework myself. I don't understand. And I called the Registrar of Voters myself, because the Office of the City Clerk, they just emailed me that. They don't respond, or they didn't respond. I think that they don't want to deal with, this guy that is trying to be a candidate and failed or whatever, so they don't want to deal with that, and they don't have to, they were kind with me again through the whole process, but they told me that. I called the Registrar of Voters, and I said, and I emailed them as well, but I said, please, can you do a recount? I obtained 94 signatures in total. There has to be 50 valid signatures there. There has to be. I don't understand how there could not be. There must be 50 valid signatures. If there's 50 valid signatures, then at least I get to play. At least I get to play the game. At least my hat is in the ring. I stepped into this arena knowing that people will have strong criticisms about the perspectives, or just trying to figure out, am I legitimate, and all of these things. I know that, and I was brave and faced the storm. And so there must be, out of that 94 signatures, there must be 50 of them in there. They're saying 45 right now. And they're going to do a recount. The Registrar of Voters called me back, and they said they'll do a recount tomorrow. If they do the recount tomorrow and I get 50 signatures, we're good to go. And then the game really starts, and that's when, we are out there, sharing the message about moving humanity forward, starting right here with San Jose. Gray for San Jose. If there's 45 of them, well then, I guess gray for San Jose turns into gray for USA. I don't, I'm just not in that race. I guess it'll, there's a potential that I'll go straight to mayor. I could go straight to mayor. If Mayor Matt Mahan is going to be running for governor, and I think if he's about to win the governorship, then maybe then I'll get to enter a special election for governor, or not for governor, for mayor. Mayor Gray sounds really great. Mayor Gray for San Jose. I already have some of the documents, so we could maybe make that work if that's what happens. But this evening, I'm going to this special event that is Alan Watts, and it's called Trust the Universe, and it's this really cool kind of theater that has this rounded ceiling, and it's very an immersive event, and it's Alan Watts. It's called Trust the Universe. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to trust the universe. And thank you, everyone that has supported me along this process. My campaign manager, she is amazing. God sent. She's just incredible. And so I hope that we get a chance to play. I hope we get a chance to swing, to really swing for it. I think that I deserve it. I think that San Jose deserves it. San Jose deserves to have a choice in an equal election, I think they deserve to have a choice. And so I hope that I am that choice, of course. I believe that I can bring something really profound to the city of San Jose and set an example for other major cities across the nation. And I look forward to being able to do that. Building conscious community, a supportive and sustainable San Jose to enhance the ability for all of us to thrive here. The thrivability here through interconnected sensibility, collaborative responsibility, cultivating culture collectively together. That's what I want for us. That's what I want to be able to do for us, and show what that leadership looks like, what that leadership will look like. And so we're trusting the universe. Thank you.